Check, 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 check. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. We're live. Real Canna in the building, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. Let's go. This is another week of the webinar series, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the building, man. Thank you so much for joining up. Real Canna in the building. Real Canna in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you hit that chat. We got 17 people already up in here. I like the fact that you guys are on time. That's what I'm talking about, baby. We here to learn. We here to learn. We here to sharpen the business skills, man. We here to get right and exact so we can get busy in cannabis industry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to bring you the professionals that are doing it every day, man, to show you the blueprint on how to get down, man. Big up the cloud cultivators in the building. Big up to you. Big up, big up, big up. Let's go, y'all. I need my people in the building. Let's go. My sound's not high enough. Got to fix my audio real quick. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Make sure you hit the chat. When you come in the chat, man, make sure that you put your name in that field when you're logging in so that I can know who you are and everything and like that, because I won't see you on here. Now, everybody that's on LinkedIn, we are streaming this all over the place. LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, all over the place, man. If you're on LinkedIn, though, unfortunately, you won't be able to comment. You won't be able to participate in some of the comments and stuff that we got going on. So if you want to come on over to the live side and you want to say some things, you want to ask some questions, man, just go to this URL. It's realcannawebinars.com. Realcannawebinars.com, plural, right there, yo. If you're on LinkedIn right now, and I can't see your comments, just jump on in the webinar section, man. It'll take 2 seconds and you can log right in, ladies and gentlemen. I love this particular application because you do not need any downloads. It's not like Zoom or anything else that you need an application on your phone, ladies and gentlemen. You could just dive in, click the link, and get busy. So let's go, y'all, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know where y'all from, man. Everybody give a shout out. This is Real Canna. And if you guys don't know about me, my name is Gary George. I am the co-founder of Real Cannabis Entrepreneur Conference. We started this in 2018 to teach our independent entrepreneurs how to get busy in the cannabis industry so that we could have more of us doing the damn thing, man, and not get bullied by the rest of the big dogs in the game, ladies and gentlemen. So that's the mission. That is the mission, and that's what we're here to do, ladies and gentlemen. So today, we got some special guests, man, in the building, some very special guests. And you know it's all about the flower. You know it's all about the plant. You know that's where it all starts. The quality comes in the beginning. You cannot rectify quality issues when you got crap on the back end. You got to start with good stuff so that you can get good stuff out, man. And the soil is the foundation of all things. The foundation of the whole entire industry. It starts from ground up, man. The flower, it comes from the soil. And that's the reason why I wanted to bring on some of my peoples in the building. What's up, Azim? Brooklyn in the house. Well, no, I'm sorry, Brad. I can't see it. Hold on, is that BX? I don't want to mix y'all up. Y'all know how y'all get real territory. You know what I'm saying, Azim? What's up, brother? I can't see it. No, that's BX in the building. Let's go. Let's get it. All right, let's go. Everybody throw it up, man. This is, in case you don't know about me, I own a 27-year-old digital marketing agency. It's called Blazer Multimedia. I was one of the first ones that got in the game that back in the early 2000s, man, doing digital marketing before internet was damn near almost invented. But now I'm using those skill sets to fill these events, man, and do Real Cannabis Entrepreneur to teach more of my independent entrepreneurs all across the country how to get in the game, how to dominate, and how to get the real information that's going to take you over the top, ladies and gentlemen. So, all right, today I got a few announcements, man. So, by the way, like I said, man, I'm a marketer, so this platform is different from everybody else's because we allow you guys to promote your stuff. We encourage you to promote your stuff. So Yonkers in the building. What's up, Lisette? Yonkers in the building. Let's go. Yo. Let's go. Come on, y'all. New York is getting hot, man. We got a lot of stuff popping. New Jersey, New York. Let's go. Almighty Farms in the building. Jersey. Let's go. Jersey. Let's go. We got Andrew in the building. Andrew Fountain, baby. Philly, baby. Andrew Fountain, Philly, baby. Philly in the game. Yeah, man. Big up to y'all for showing up, man. Everybody plug in. Melody, what's up, Melody? You back in the building. Melody Brown. She's always here. Melody in the building. I know you, Melody. You always in here representing, man. Big up to you. Madeline, what's up? Nutley, New Jersey. Big up to Nutley. NJ all day. Chi-Town in the building. We got OK in the building. We got Oklahoma in the building, baby. Oklahoma, mama smoke, chicka shot. What's that? I don't know how to say it, but big up to you. All right. Everybody plug in, man. Let me know y'all up in here, man. It ain't developed me. DMV. The DMV is up in here. The DMV is up in here heavy, baby. They came to see the soil experts. They came to see Bukweetz. They came to see Rel. They came to see how to get down and build this soil, man. You guys are going to learn how to do it from ground up, ladies and gentlemen. And I told you, man, the quality starts from the beginning. The quality starts from the beginning. Junk in, junk out. That's the phrase that we always use in design. It's a phrase we always use in everything else that involves quality. Junk in, junk out. You got to start with quality first. So that way you can go from there and spread out. But if you start with junk first, you're never going to get to that quality level. If you start with a foundation and your soil is crap, bro, you ain't never going to get to that quality level. If your water's not right and other things aren't right, you're never going to get to that quality level, man. So that's why we got them here in the building. You know what I'm saying? Bukweetz in the building. Bukweetz in the building. Bukweetz in the building. All right. All right, check it out. Who else we got in the building, man? Y'all plug in, man. Let me know who's up in the building. Y'all know how we do. This is Real Canna. My sound effects ain't loud enough today. That's all right. I'm going to roll with it, though. Who else is in the building? I see Taliba in the building. Taliba in the building, always here. Bridgeton and NJ all day. Bridgeton NJ all day. Big up to you, Taliba. Let's go. Oh, there we go. Booyah, baby. I just didn't have it turned up. Let's turn up now. All right, Gerard's in the building. Jersey in the building. All right. Blissful Buds and Brown is Melody. What's it called? Blissful Buds Brown. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got Bukweetz. They here and they waiting in the backstage. So I'm gonna get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna do some I'm gonna do some announcements real quick though. First, I'm gonna do some quick announcements, ladies and gentlemen. You know we got to do that to make it happen. I can't leave you guys without the great information. So the first thing up, ladies and gentlemen, first thing up, you guys are hearing me talk a lot about our private mastermind group. And that it's a private group that you can only get in, and we only open up applications 2 times a year. You have to be qualified to get in it. We started this back in 2018 with just 8 cannabis professionals from New Jersey. This mastermind has now grown to be the largest mastermind in the world with over 186 cannabis professionals from all over, where we get together and help each other sharpen each other's business skills. We help each other grow. We help each other with resources. We talk about problems and issues within the cannabis industry that you're not going to hear anywhere else that's ungoogleable, that we're the only group of individuals that are in it that are doing it. So if you want to join other people like you see on my wall, the speakers and everybody else that you see come to the webinars, and you want to be in a group with them, a private group, where you can discuss problems about your business, how to grow your business, other things, resources that you're going to need within inside your business. This is the best way to do it by far. Get with the individuals that's been doing it and have them mentor you inside our mastermind group, ladies and gentlemen. That is our private cannabis mastermind group, and you can apply now, ladies and gentlemen. You can get in right now. We only open it 2 times a year, but I'm doing them on the webinars. I said on the series, everybody who shows up, you get a special because you guys showed up. So the private cannabis mastermind group, you get it realcannabisentrepreneur.com. Go to realcannabisentrepreneur.com/mastermind. That's realcannabisentrepreneur.com/mastermind. If you guys want to apply to see if you qualify for our group, ladies and gentlemen, you can go there and get in the mastermind group. That's realcannabisentrepreneur.com. Mastermind. All right, there we go. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, next up, we're going to talk about, you saw me do Evolve dispensary grand opening down in Bordentown, New Jersey. Big up to the frog. Big up, big up, big up, big up. So we decided to take it on another level and offer the services to a lot of other individuals that needed the help. A lot of the dispensary owners that are struggling to get the grand opening popping. You need to call me immediately to get it popping up. Basically, what we do is we utilize our audience. We got over 30,000, 100,000 people in the tri-state area, man, and we utilize our audience to come out to your dispensaries to make sure that it's popping for your grand opening, bringing you money, bringing you sales, bringing you front, bringing you shine, bringing you PR, bringing you news, bringing you everything. Y'all better holler at us right now, man. We can only take a couple of these. Go to realcannamarketing.com. That's realcannamarketing.com. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I come out and I actually host the whole thing myself. So I'm in the building, in your dispensary, bringing the noise, going live on IG, getting crazy. We got over 400 RSVPs the last time we did it. 500 people showed up. 20 plus people showed up when I just went on a live within 60 minutes. Guys, y'all got to be at the next one. So all your dispensary owners, if you really want to get it popping, you really want to make some noise, you really want to start it right, go to realcannamarketing.com, realcannamarketing.com for the dispensary grand opening marketing services, ladies and gentlemen. All right, there it is. Bang, 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 bang. All right, real quick. Back to the live chat, and then we're going to bring in Bukweetz real quick. Who else is in the building? Who else is in the building? Peace, bro. Jersey in the building. Make sure y'all put your names in there because I can't tell who you are unless you put the name in when you first come into the joint. All right. One more announcement, then we're going to jump right into it. One more announcement, we're going to jump right into it, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Next one up. Boom. Omnichannel marketing for cannabis. Omnichannel marketing for cannabis. Ladies and gentlemen, I decided to do this because why? I'm not an event promoter. I'm a real marketer. So I do things very differently than these event promoters who don't understand marketing. So a lot of them will sell you things that aren't really effective as a marketing component without other things. Well, what I decided to do was offer the things that I do that made me so successful in selling out all of our shows for over 6 years. We're up to our 12th show, sold out everyone in New Jersey, over 1,000 people, 40 plus speakers every single year. The same techniques that I'm using to do that, I actually implement for you right here. Anybody that's trying to get to all of the license holders in the country. If you got a product or service that you need to get to the cannabis license holders in the United States, we got the biggest list. We have scraped and amassed the biggest list of license holders, over 30,000 license holders within the United States. If you got a product or service and you need to get in front of them, guess what? I got a whole marketing service. I can only take a handful of people, but I'm actually doing the marketing. I'm writing the copy. I'm doing the graphics. My team is implementing. We're utilizing our internal list. I'm utilizing my external warm list. All the people that hear from me every year, year after year for 6+ years. Guys, if you're serious about business and you're ready to take it to the next level and you're in cannabis and you got a product or service that is sold to any of license holders, you need to go on this URL right now, realcannaadvertising.com. That's realcannaadvertising.com. Go on there right now, ladies and gentlemen, fill out the form to see if you qualify, because we can only take a handful for this. This is a very special opportunity. I've never done outside marketing, but other than myself, I'm a master marketer. I do it for myself, filling my events. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and I got a bunch of business that I do it for. But I decided to help my cannabis community one time for the mind, ladies and gentlemen. So take advantage of it. realcannaadvertising.com. realcannaadvertising.com. Let's go. All right. Woo! That's a lot of announcements, baby. That's a lot of announcements. No, I still got one more. And the last one up. Then we're going to bring in Bukweetz Cannabis Consulting. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are trying to get through this cannabis maze and you need some help, you don't know how to go, what to do. You're going for a retail license, going for a manufacturer license, cultivation license. Guys, I got all the resources here. If you need help from the other individuals that have done it, I put about a dozen people through the application process. I've been in more than a dozen municipality meetings. I've witnessed all kind of stuff. So guys, if you need help, holla at me, realcannaconsulting.com, realcannaconsulting.com. Well, we got over a dozen people in Jersey and New York going through the process, man. All big up to Real Canna Consulting. We're the ones taking you through and saving you a whole bunch of money. If you're not a trust fund baby, you ain't got a big bread to spend and go through this process, get at us at realcannaconsulting.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get busy. Jeff Passerini in the building. Another one of our mastermind members in the building. Plant Matter CBD in Delaware. He's about to set it off. Big up to you, Jeff. Mastermind member in the building. All right, here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see this week, man, if we can get it popped off. We're going to bring in the Bukweetz, ladies and gentlemen, Bukweetz, and we got Rel. They're the ones, soil experts, man, soil consultants, and he's making it happen and making it moving and shaking and baking and baking right now to get in position. But we're going to put him on, and we're just going to make sure that we got good audio, good everything else, and all that good stuff. So let's see if we can hear you first and foremost, Rel. Say something for me. Let me make sure I can hear you.
What's going on, Gary?
All right, let's see. Let me ask my audience. We had some issues last week where I wasn't able to hear the audio and everybody else was. So I need you guys' help in the chat real quick. Can you hear her? So, Rel, say a couple of words real quick again. Just say something so everybody can hear you.
How you doing this morning?
Exactly.
Happy to be here.
See if we can figure this out again, man, because we had some issues last week with the audio. There's some wild stuff going on in the internet, backbone problems that has been creating streaming problems. But I tried it again this week because we can't stop. Yes, they can hear you. All right. So let me try one other thing. Because we had the same issue happen last week and it drove us crazy and it's still doing it. All right. So we're going to try one thing. All right, Rel, say what's up again. Let me see if I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. We got it, ladies and gentlemen. We got it. They're not going to stop us. What's up, Rel, in the building? Rap Road Genetics. One half of Rap Road Genetics in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Yes. Hold on. We're going to bring in Bukweetz as well, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to see if we can get all the audio right and get everybody tight. You know what I'm saying? And making moves, getting in position. Well, what's up, Bukweetz in the building, brother? Say something. Let me see if I can hear you. Yes. Yeah, coming in and out, but I hear you. Yes. Thank you for that, team. Tia Planta in the building. What's up? Big up to you. Yes, everybody, thank y'all for letting me know that y'all can hear it. You guys are my ears. Big up to y'all, man, for being my audio engineer. You know how we do Real Canna. We use everybody. You know what I'm saying? Rel in the building. What's up, Maryland, MD, DMV, Bukweetz in the building. Let's go. The soil experts, ladies and gentlemen. And they've been rocking for a long time. You guys may have seen them at one of our conferences a couple of years ago. You guys came up, represented, man, have a great time, had a real good time. I knew it would be a right time to bring you guys on, man. I love the fact that you guys are doing classes out there, getting people educated. And that's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. Educating the others, man. You can't keep keeping all this information to yourself. What good is it when you go to the grave, my fam, and you got all this info up here? It's time for us to all put it out in the world, man. If you have a specialty and an expertise, man, each one teach one. It's time for us to share the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So big up to y'all, Bukweetz, Rel, making it happen. Soil experts, making it happen. And why Bukweetz gets in position, we're going to talk to Rel for a little bit. We're going to talk to Rel. So Rel, let me know. I want to get a little background. I want you to give a little background on who you are and what it is that you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, first and foremost, I am a veteran. I did almost 9 years in the Air Force. I decided to jump into IT right after, and that wasn't it for me. So I started using gardening, not just cannabis cultivation, but overall gardening is therapy for a couple of different issues due to me being in the military. And that just led us down the journey to want to contribute to the community in a different way. There's so many people that need a way or need therapy in some kind of way for different things. And once I realized I wasn't the only person that looked at cannabis cultivation and gardening as a medium for therapy, we decided to start giving out the information and the education so people can do this at home on their own.
Absolutely, man. And that's where it boils down to, right? Once you get the info, to give it up to other individuals that can do it. Now, I want to know how you got started. You guys got into soil, and that's a very particular niche,
man.
Right? And I want to talk, hold on, before you say that, and ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to listen to this because everybody's out there looking for their particular niche right now. This is the hottest topic on the block right now. Everybody wants to be flower touching. Everybody wants to be own a dispensary. Right. Everybody wants to do the same thing. But guess what, y'all? There are so many other lanes that you could get yourself into that can actually generate far more than many in the flower touching side of things, get you profitable a lot faster, get you exposure a lot faster. So, Rel, I want you to talk a little bit about how did you guys pick that niche? Where did you decide? How did you decide?
It just made sense because once Buck comes on and he gives you a little background on where the name Rap Road Genetics came from. I don't want to give that away too much, but it's more for him reaching back to his ancestors and where he came from. Farming and gardening was their way of life. Right. And so he has a green thumb naturally. I have a green thumb. And I guess the cannabis industry has been a little more competitive than we wanted it to be.
Right.
But we weren't going to do any of the non-organic ways of cultivating. And so once we started using soil, we had went down the lane of buying soil from Home Depot, and our grows not being as successful because the soil wasn't what we needed it to be.
Right.
We eventually figured out, okay, how can we create our own soil? And then once we started doing that, we went to a couple workshops. A couple of our colleagues and peers in the industry, you know, we give each other information. There's no gatekeeping in that aspect. That's when we realized, like, this is going to be a thing. And then people started asking us for the soil. And I don't believe in giving anybody other than information. I'm going to show you how to do it. Teach you how to fish. You'll always know how to eat, right?
For real.
Once they started asking for it, it was a no-brainer. It's like, let's do workshops.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Wow. So it all started from you guys, a personal necessity. You guys creating the soil, realizing that you weren't going to get what you were looking for, you know, completely out of Home Depot, that you had to come up with your own formulations, your own this, your own that. And that's how it kind of started. That's where the bell rung for you all. So when more of the people, and I want to talk about the starting of you guys deciding to turn it into a business, right? Because we hear this many times. People taking a personal necessity, turning it into a business. Exactly what you guys see me doing with Real Cannabis Entrepreneur. It's exactly the same thing. I was looking for a conference to teach me the blueprint on exactly how to get into the cannabis industry, and I couldn't find it anywhere. I decided to create my own. That's the Real Cannabis Entrepreneur Conference, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys get your tickets. I forgot to do my announcements about that. And tickets aren't even on sale yet, but 18th and 19th October, ladies and gentlemen, Real Canna. But anyway, when did you decide to say, okay, now I'm taking it from a hobby and I can really make this into a business? What was the point of it? What point in that process where that bell rang and said, oh, you know what? I can really make this a business?
I think we seriously considered it after we went to your convention, and we kind of knew Maryland was going to go green. It just made sense to find other ways to jump into the industry and it not necessarily be plant touching. Right. So we did go for the social equity application, and at that point we wanted to see what other options we would have that we felt were still necessary and valuable in the industry. What else is needed? We don't want to do waste. We don't want to do rolling papers and other accessories. It's like, what else is there? And it's like, well, soil. Right. Yeah, well, nobody's really doing this. There's a few people that do it, but not on this side of the map.
Right.
So we saw it as an opportunity to create a business out of it, hoping to help people, but then give people other options, other ideas on how they can enter into the industry and it not be plant touching and more affordable, because it's not going to have the same tax issues as some of the dispensaries might have or the cultivation centers might have.
Right, right.
It's something that can be easily marketed. You don't have to worry about banks blocking you for your business because it's considered cannabis and you can't bank with them.
Right.
But you're still in the industry. They need us, we need them. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. That is the 1-2 punch, ladies and gentlemen. And you heard Rel say it. She said exactly what we started this whole conference on in the very beginning back in 2018. And we were preaching to everybody, guys, just don't focus on the flower touching. Just don't focus on the retail. It's going to be a ton of competition. Many are going to fail. But you know what? There's going to be bigger successes in those ancillary side of things, the ancillary businesses and supportive businesses within the industry. This is an entire industry, y'all. It means that there's every type of skill set that there's out there in the world can be applicable to this particular industry. And you just have to find and utilize and tap into your own skill sets, what you have an advantage with, and bring it to the table. So that was super dope that you found that. And what you said is exactly spot on. The fact that you don't have regulations, guys. And as a marketer, let me tell you, I prefer to deal with a company where I don't have regulations. I can market that so much more effectively than I can when I have regulation. So you got to think about the pros and the cons and how much headache you really want and how much it might be more advantageous for you to take another route. You guys have done that. Exactly. So big up to y'all for doing that, man. Big up for y'all for identifying that niche and going into it. You know what I'm saying? All right, we got Bukweetz. I think he's situated back there. We're going to bring him in as well, ladies and gentlemen, so we can get it all the way popping.
We actually are filming a podcast right after this, so we had some access entry issues. We're gonna make it work either way.
That's right. They double dipping y'all. They're getting their podcast right. They're getting everything right. But they made it here for y'all. They made it here for y'all to make sure that y'all get this information today. Big up to y'all, man. What's up? Bukweetz in the building, the founder of Rap Road Genetics. What's up, my brother? How you, man?
Good. I'm good, man. Staying busy. In the soil. We just finished our first workshop this past weekend down at PG County. We got another one coming.
A little choppy. You might need to stand someplace different in the building.
Yeah, you might need to catch a better signal. A little better. Yeah, yep. But go ahead. You can walk and talk while you're doing it. Walk and talk. We'll tell you when it get good. We'll tell you when to stop.
Our first workshop in PG County this past weekend. We got another one next week in DC. So we're just staying busy, hands in the soil. You know, it's that time of the year where everybody's back outside, putting plants in the ground and whatnot.
Absolutely, brother. So, hey, man, I want you to give a little background. We have Rel give a little background on how you guys got started into the whole soil thing, how you identified that as a business niche, what made you get into it. She told us a little bit about your background and said she ain't going to spill the beans, but you have some agricultural farming lineage that she said you might want to share with us. So I want to get you up here, Bukweetz, and just tell us a little bit about your background, man, and how you got into the soil game.
Okay, well, my background as far as my family is concerned is I come from a background of farmers. Um, my great grands were part of the Great Migration in the 1920s from the South, from Mississippi up to New York. And they landed upstate. They ended up buying a bunch of land and acquiring and building out, farms and housing. And the street that they acquired was called Rap Road. It's still there, but it's not. They sold a lot of the land to the city, and now it's like a shopping mall. But my family was really deep into gardening. My grandmother had a very big, large lot that she had full of vegetables and all types of arrangements and whatnot. So it kind of come naturally. My mother was into it really heavily. So once I started cultivating myself, we started with dry amendments. We wanted to go organic, and eventually it was like we were trying to figure out what exactly those recipes were that were in the mixes.
Right.
Store, like, what are these ingredients? And then we started classes and composting workshops and different things through a local farming co-op, and we started to build our own recipe out from scratch once we found out what was actually in the bags that they would sell us at the store.
Right.
Which was trash.
I mean, with
right
out the recipe, and then we started implementing it in our own gardens. So once we started making our own soil, we just started putting pretty much anything we could find in the soil. House plants, vegetables, fruits, flowers, you name it, cannabis plants, obviously, and the soil worked for everything. I had to see a plant that it didn't take the soil. Like, I had a big aloe vera plant that loves it. The kids have a lemon tree outside that you use the same soil for. So we started to understand the basis of soil composition and what nutrients drove what plants. Like, some plants are more nitrogen heavy or feeders, and some are more phosphorus heavy or what.
We losing you. You going back in. We losing you. I think outside might have been better, but let's see. Keep walking. But go ahead. Keep going.
Trying to find a cubby hole.
I know, right? Might be cold out there on your neck.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's a windshield.
Yesterday, it got cold out here, boy. I went outside, was like, let me put my Scully back on. It is officially winter again. You know what I'm saying?
We got an unsuspected week of chills this week. I think we might get some flurry too.
Yeah, man. I was surprised yesterday because we had them nice days, warm days last week. Had me all spoiled yesterday. I said, boy, let me put that Scully back on, man. It ain't no joke. But anyway, you were talking about the amendments, and you were talking about, finding them and figuring out like which plants, need more phosphorus, which one need more nitrogen. Like, and how do you find out? That's the information I want to know, man. I was a guerrilla grower as a youth, you know what I'm saying? And I never got that far into it. So I'm asking the professionals now. I told y'all I do this for myself too.
There's 2 ways you can do it. You could just do it and do trial and error and learn that way through mistakes.
Right.
Some plants, although as a species, some plants might require one thing that others don't. And then sometimes a plant has its own temperament as well. Even though it might be specific to that one plant, it might be several same plants that don't want the same things. But you can definitely research and learn. It requires you to get a little bit more into maybe botany or horticulture to really understand the dynamics of a plant structure to determine what it needs to grow properly.
Right.
But for somebody just starting out, just throw something in soil and see what it does, and how much you amend and what you use to amend. You just keep notes of what you used and say, okay, well, that didn't work. Maybe I had too much nitrogen in it. Maybe I need more phosphorus, or it's just trial and error. It's not something you're going to just get overnight.
And that's something good to that you said there, ladies and gentlemen. Trial and error. When it comes to this kind of stuff, man, there is no blueprint to it. There is no right and wrong. There's a million people that's going to do it a million different ways and tell you a million different ways, right? And it's about you learning the processes from some of them and then taking it and making your own and making it your own, depending on what you're growing and the environment and whatever else you have going on. That's how you all curtail it too. So doing that, let's say a cheat sheet, man. And let's talk about amendments for those rookies and other individuals who really don't understand what that term means. Amendments. Let's talk about amendments. What does amendments mean? What are amendments?
Amendments are the nutrients that it's the food source. So you have a base of soil. Your soil has a base, and then you have an amendment balance. It's called an NPK chart. And phosphorus, potassium. Then you'll have a bunch of macronutrients in there like calcium, iron, zinc, things of that nature that the plants will use small doses of, so they don't need a lot of it.
Right.
And big three, they need the big three, but they need it in phases. So
right.
Like vegetative state, you have in the flowering state. When they're in the vegetative state, they're just getting bigger.
Was that a truck pulling up? Something pulling up. Yeah. But we was talking about the vegetative state, right? And he's talking about the NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus. Wait, what is it? Is that right? And potassium? What's the K for?
All right. The vegetative state is when they're typically getting bigger. Their branches are getting bigger, the leaves are getting bigger. It's called the veg state. Plants are just getting forming their structure. So the flowering state is when they're actually blooming, and that's when they're fruiting all of whatever that fruit is, whether it be an apple or a piece of a bud of cannabis or a tomato or pepper. They're all in the flowering stage when they're going through that, when they're producing these fruits. So in that flowering state, they're going to want a lot of phosphorus. And in the vegetative state, they're going to want a lot of nitrogen. And the potassium is pretty much more of a strengthening nutrient. That's kind of where the plants build their immunity, and they get their strength, and it helps them uptake some of the other nutrients that are available.
Right. See, that's a good point now, ladies and gentlemen. That's what everybody who starts to grow thinks, that you could just douse that baby and say, well, and these nitrogen's going to make it grow more. Let's just give it a bunch of nitrogen. We're going to get this monster plant, right? It doesn't necessarily work like that, because you have to have that balance. And if you don't have the balance, just like you heard Buckwheat saying, if you don't have the potassium in it, helps it take up some of the other nutrients. So if you're lacking in one particular mineral or piece, the others aren't even, you can throw as much nitrogen as you want to it and it's still not going to absorb the nitrogen. So that's why the balance is so important.
Yeah, if you put too much of anything, you'll lock all of the nutrients out. You'll have what's called a lockout, and they won't uptake anything.
Wow, they just boycott. The plants boycott. If you try to OD them, they're like, nah, man, we shutting down. You can't keep giving us to it. They won't take nothing. They rebel.
It is a very balancing act.
Buck, they asking what's the K stand for NPK?
The K is for potassium.
Okay. So that's nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, NPK, right?
The science chart. So if you remember when you was in school and you had the science chart with the symbols of everything, what means calcium, zinc, and all of that kind of stuff, it's those. Yeah. So N is for nitrogen, P is for phosphorus, and K is for potassium. Right.
Okay, that's good. Now, for all my newbies, man, this is good stuff, right? We got to learn it from ground up, ladies and gentlemen. You got to know what you're talking about. And even the smokers, man, you need to know what to ask your farmer. You need to know what to ask your cultivator. You need to say, yo, bro, what kind of soil you using? Yo, what kind of amendments you using? Right? You go to your cultivator and ask them some real questions. And cultivators are so passionate that guess what? They're going to spend about a half an hour explaining it to you. Ain't going to be like you bothering them. They're going to be like, you don't want to know what? They're going to tell you everything about everything. So all you got to do is ask. All you got to do is ask. For real.
Somebody that's passionate about something, just ask them about it and they'll open up like a book.
For real. They be like, nobody ever asked me. Guess what? It's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. They'll show you everything, guys. So if you really want to know, just talk to them, man, and they'll tell you a whole lot of stuff. And it's really great to learn. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I said the K. I'm the same way, Melody. I got, you know what I'm saying? I've been a gorilla grower, been growing stuff, but I still don't, I'm not all into the science side of it. We was kids and we was just growing it, doing it the down and dirty way, planting seeds back in the woods, right? We Jersey, we didn't want to get locked up. We couldn't grow inside. So we had to go back in the woods and grow in the woods and all that. You know what I'm saying? Hide from the helicopters, you know what I'm saying? Dodge the raccoons and you know what I mean? And I was telling that story, y'all, when me and my boy Mel Quan, he's the one who does my sound at all of my events at Real Canna. But it was me and him. We were 14 years old, back in the woods, growing. We used to take these backpacks and we used to put peat pots in the big pots so they wouldn't shake up when we was riding our bikes. And then we'd go back in the back and plant them all. But we did that for a while. And one time, after a while, we was just using like our parents' a fertilizer that they had in the garage. And of course that was Miracle Grow, right? Everybody had Miracle, but the stuff that they use for everybody mom who grow plants and tomatoes and stuff in their crib, they gonna have Miracle Grow. So as kids, we just got Miracle Grow. We was like, word, we gonna feed it this. And finally we ordered a book from High Times, and that was Ed Rosenthal. Big up to Ed. Ed's probably gonna be on stage in October. That's one of my original mentors. I said, Ed, you don't even know you're my mentor, but brother, you taught me everything at 14 years old. I got a chance to talk to him, meet him. He might be on stage. But anyway, Ed gave Marijuana's Growers Bible. And when we got that book, we learned about organic growing. And we learned the first time we learned about fish emotions. And we were like, oh, snap, we need to get some fish emotions, right? We were like 14 years old trying to find fish emotions. So we found it. We got the fish emotions, went back in the woods, planted them, you know, fertilized them all nice, yo, the fish emotions. Boy, we went home. It rained that night. I was in the bed just thinking about my plants. Like, it's going to look so beautiful tomorrow. Went back there, y'all. The raccoon smelled that fish emotions and went crazy. Oh, no. They dug up every single plant we had. We was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. We tried to go organic and it backfired on us because we was gorilla. We was that far back. But yeah, guys, tricks of the trade. But like I said, we was just doing it low level, man, and you guys are doing it on a whole nother level. So we're going to get back to amendments. There's my little story real quick. But let's get back to amendments, y'all. Amendments. Now, let's talk about what type of amendments there are for nitrogen, for, you know, some of the phosphorus, the potassium. What do you use? Let's talk about it.
Well, once you understand the science of it all, you just kind of put together what works for whatever you're trying to cultivate. But the nitrogen heavy nutrients would be like bat guano is pretty heavy in nitrogen. I kind of tend to use a balancing act though. So like for my end, I probably will use a lot of kelp or alfalfa. You can use neem seed meal. You just want to add some type of meal to your balance. And then you can use things like blood meal is real heavy in nitrogen. My mom uses blood meal pretty much everything in her garden. Just with a lot of compost and worm castings, because compost and worm castings pretty much have a balance of everything already. So a lot of farmers just use the natural compost that they get from their farming animals, or they'll have a worm composting bin and they'll just, you know, add that worm compost. That's pretty much the goal in everything. It's like, I don't want to say it like this, but it's pretty much shit. Like the
right.
Other organisms recycle life, so to speak. One part of the food chain goes in, comes out. Something else takes that in and makes something else out of it.
Right.
Evolving cycle.
Yeah. So and that's good, guys. So we're talking about all the different things that you could use, and you see him drop some science for you in terms of bloodworm, blood meal, and let's talk about what they actually do. Like, what is that giving you? So you put in, like, I know that there's different people that say, bat guano. There's certain people that say use this. There's certain people say use that. Like, and they're for different sources. So I want to kind of go into that. Like, what do you use more so for the nitrogen? What do you use when you need some calcium? You need some phosphorus. You need some, potassium. What are the go-tos that you guys utilize for those different components that are all carry the plant through its life cycle?
But like nitrogen, like I said, blood meal is like completely nitrogen.
Mhm.
Bat guano is all nitrogen. Rock phosphate is all phosphorus. You can use seabird guano as well. That's phosphorus, but it's a lot stronger, so you will use a lot less of it. And then potassium, you can get potassium in a natural form from like banana peels. So if you were to make your own compost, you can compost the banana peels in your bin, and the worms would basically eat it, compost it, poop it back out, and you'll have a lot of that potassium in your worm castings.
Mhm.
Up your banana peels and make a potassium top dress, or a potassium tea, so to speak.
Right.
It's 100 ways to skin a cat.
Yeah, see that, and that's the thing. That's the thing.
Say that there's like a perfect living soil recipe. There is.
There isn't. It's
No, but it's like perfect for you because there's so
exactly.
do it, and there's so many ways to interchange things. There's no, like, I have at least 15 different living soil recipes or combinations of things, and they all work just the same.
Right. Wow, that many variations, and they all work the same. So why do you have that many variations? Let's talk about why you have those variations.
Bananas
Availability of sources. Sometimes we might not have access to one of the amendments. Maybe it's hard to get, or it's not priced right. So what else can we use instead?
Right. Comes down to economies of scale and availability. So, okay, got you. So that's how you juggle to make sure that you're within budget. Because again, guys, we're talking about business at the same time, keeping costs down, but getting the same effect. So if you can find another amendment or some other source that's in your region that's cheaper than something that we could get on the East Coast, you might be able to get on the West Coast that might be better for nitrogen or whatever, XYZ. That's why you guys have those different formulations, right? According to the regions that you're in.
Yeah, most definitely. And sometimes it's just easier to have access to certain products here in Maryland than it would be, say, in Connecticut. It just depends. But you would have to know, well, I don't have access to this, or even a brand that you might like using. You just got to go out there and just research and do the work and find out what's available to where you are and how you want to spend your money on obtaining what you need. Somebody asked about the how much, I guess, is it to create your first organic soil mix? And it depends on your need. Are you doing a soil mix for 30 gallons? Are you doing it for 5 gallons? That budget is based upon how much soil you're looking to build.
Is my audio good?
Yeah,
yep, you good now. Yeah.
I was answering a question about the cost to create your first organic soil mix. Kind of segueing from Gary's question about how to access certain amendments based on availability and location and region and things like that.
Yo, you muted.
I still.
No, I think he lied. I don't think he heard the question. He was moving around. But we were talking about.
So that's pretty much how we kind of just gauge what we need,
right,
and what's available at the time.
What's available at the time. Now let's talk about a little bit about developing the soil, and how do you know how much of something to put in, right? That's always my fear of messing stuff up. I'm like, how do I know it's enough or too much?
I like to say, like, when he's doing his workshops, it looks like he's seasoning chicken or something. It's never like
a little bit of this, a little bit of that. He's sprinkling it on.
He's really good. He's really good with learning and understanding the ratios based on how much soil am I trying to make. So I'll let him explain how he breaks down in his class, how much of what amendment he uses per each build.
Yeah. This is good, y'all. Listen up. This is good. He gonna sprinkle it on. Come on, Bukweetz. Tell us how you sprinkle it, baby. How do you put together that master mixture, man?
Definitely a little bit of seasoning the chicken. So many times, but ration wise, you would typically go rule of thumb. I would say like 2 teaspoons per gallon if you're top dressing something. So if you have like a 10-gallon pot, you would top dress, 2 teaspoons per gallon to equate enough food for that size of a pot, so to speak. When I'm doing entire mixes, we're making like 350 gallons of soil sometimes.
Wow. In one shot.
Yeah, so you're talking about, 8 to 10 pounds of pretty much almost every amendment that I'm putting in there with a lot of worm castings and a lot of compost. So it's like 1 part base, 1 part nutrient, and then 1 part mineral, because you also need your minerals in there for a lot of your macronutrients.
Right. Now let's talk about aeration, soil aeration, the importance of aeration. What do you use? How do you make sure that your soil is going to be properly aerated? Get the oxygen to the roots.
That's very, very important, because not every plant likes dense soil. Some plants like very compressed soil, and then some plants really need a lot of room for the roots to move around. So for aeration, you can use pine bark. You can use rice hulls. Is a very good source of aeration because it adds silica as well as potassium to your soil, and it doesn't degrade fast. It takes a long time for it to degrade, so it'll be there for a while. Some people use pumice rocks. That's a little more expensive, but that's another way of creating some aeration in your soil. So yeah, 1 part base, 1 part aeration, and then you have your nutrients, and that's your mix.
That's it, guys. He just dropped some science on you. He just gave y'all the game right there. Hope y'all took notes. He just gave y'all the game. Told you a whole bunch of different ways, a whole bunch of different things that you could use. Exact formulations, man. You guys got to get to their class. You guys are doing classes, man, and that's the reason why I brought them on here. They're doing classes down in Maryland where you could go and teach, and you can actually walk away with your own created soil from the master soil experts here, man. So that's why, guys. So if you really want to get down and dirty, I'm going to have them share a couple of quick tips and tricks here today. But if you really want to get down and dirty, you got to get down to their class, man. They're killing it. So let me ask this next question too, man.
That said that the size of the soil mixes and amendments will also vary depending on the inside versus outdoor, which is also very key, because inside soil is not going to be as strong. You're not going to buffer it as much as you would from outdoor soil that has to deal with a lot more elements.
Right.
Variables. You have less control over what's going on, so that soil is going to be made a lot stronger.
I see. So you got to go a little heavy-handed on the outside soil, because you know that it's going to be deteriorating from the elements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that, it's going to get flushed a lot more. So yeah, that was a very good.
And that depends on your zone as well. That's when you get more into the agricultural aspect of where you live at regionally and what that zone is. So I use a farmer's almanac to keep up with what's going on with the outside climate, but depending on if you're in a state that's dry, then your soil is going to typically stay drier, even if it's soil amended and compost that you created. It's still outside. Versus if you're somewhere that's really high humidity and moist, whether it's winter, summer, spring, or fall. So you have to take those things into consideration as well. And with indoor soil, humidity might be a factor, but the environmental factors outside are completely different. And the time of the year depends on how much you got an IPM. IPM doesn't mean just the plants, it's the soil as well, because there's certain organisms and pests and predators that live in soil and deteriorate your growth. So, it's a lot of different aspects to it, but the amendments, we typically use the same, variation of things for indoor or outdoor. It's just, we have to make sure that when we do outdoor, like you said, it's strong enough to withstand the various different factors that could cause something to go wrong,
Right. Right. That's dope. That's dope. That's something I never thought about until I started talking to y'all. And I said, wait a minute, it's got to be a difference. You know, I haven't been all in the trenches, but that's very good to know. And another piece of the puzzle, y'all, getting it from the experts on what you need to do depending on where you're growing and that kind of thing. Now, we were talking about, you know, knowing identifying when your soil has too much of something in it, right? But how do you identify that? Normally, how do you identify it when you're in the grow, and how do you correct it? Let's say I made a mistake and I put a little bit too much something in this soil, and I noticed my plant. Tell me how I would notice it first from the cannabis plant. I want you to tell me, what are my symptoms? It's got too much nitrogen, got too much calcium, too much potassium. What are my symptoms? And then how do I rectify it?
The plants will typically tell you using colors and texture. Mm-hmm. So sometimes when a plant is really limp and just seems like it's dull and lifeless, you can determine what's needed. Yellow, turning yellow too soon, getting brown on the edges, things like that can be an indicator of some kind of nutritional deficiency. Mm-hmm. How do you correct it? If you know it's potassium, then you would do one of those top feeding with potassium, or you can use banana peels, create a tea, or use some other amendment. Right. And you would see the plant consuming it, and it'll change, and it'll take time.
Definitely takes longer. It takes long, to correct the deficiency with soil, it definitely would take longer than with hydro.
Right.
Like the plants will tell you exactly what's going on. The leaves will give you signs of what's deficient or what's too much. So really dark leaves, or the tips of the leaves burning up, that's a sign that the soil is probably too hot. There's too much nitrogen in it. Mm-hmm. Magnesium and calcium deficiencies, they all have different signs on the leaves, like spots and various things. You can find a chart anywhere online. There's a million of them, but the plant more or less will tell you. All your plants, if everything's balanced, your plant should be showing like purple stems and things of that nature are not natural unless it's the genetic. I'm starting to get a bunch of wind.
Right. Now, so let me ask you this. So those charts that you're referring to that'll tell you those things, are they universal for regular plants and cannabis plants? Like we could go look at any of the agricultural charts that'll say, hey, if your leaves look like this, if they got spots, if they turn brown, is it the same, or is cannabis has any differences, uniqueness?
All of the species have their own specific chart. Cannabis has its chart for how it tells you what is deficient in. A house plant might be something completely different.
Ah, okay. That's good. That's good to know.
Way of telling you, but our plants tend to be a lot more resilient. They can take more of a beating, so to speak. But yeah, you should definitely read up on whatever it is you're cultivating to see what that plant particularly likes. So
right.
Soil that favors it and not the soil that you want it to have, so to speak.
Right.
I'm going left. And then pay attention to the way the plant's growing and the signs in the leaves. Are the leaves healthy? Are the stems healthy? Is it getting bigger? Is it stunted? Those are all the things that will let you know something's wrong.
Right. That's a lot of good tips, ladies and gentlemen. Again, they just dropped it down. A lot of good, great tips right there. Ways to identify problems. That's one of the biggest things, man, for beginner growers. It's understanding what's wrong and putting too much or too less of something. But that's a lot of really great info that you guys just shared. Now, I've got another one for you. And you were talking about, is there validity in the theory that the cannabis plants will flourish more in environments where the soil mimics its origin or its original country or its original environment? Is there any validity in that theory?
Absolutely. Because that's all we're trying to do is mimic its environment. We do indoor growing, mimic the outdoor environment to our best ability. But the thing about cannabis, they will adapt to their environment. So the plant will start to grow different, and it will actually even, flower different based on the environment that it's in. It'll adapt. If you get some genetics from, let's say, California, and you plant it over here, after a generation or two, it will evolve to an East Coast type of ecosystem.
Right. They're always evolving at the same time. So even when you're getting genetics and you start to run those genetics for multiple times, and if you run it in a certain environment, now you got to start to change it because the plant's changing. You can't just you've changed its origin almost, right? It's adapting to
Exactly.
to any environment.
I was
right?
just getting ready to say that. I mean, it's not a native plant, but when you grow it in a different environment after a while, it's no longer the same plant it was originally when you got it. And so now this plant's been cultivated and grown in this environment, this ecosystem, this climate. It's like the Maryland, for us, it would be the Maryland variation of this plant, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, yes, definitely. And that's good. And Bukweetz was just saying that, some of the plants like more compressed soil, right? We're all just thinking, again, me being a rookie, I'm thinking they all need air, they all want it loose, they all want loose soil. But right? No, it ain't even like that, guys. Again, you gotta read up. You got to read up on the origins, right? And we all try to be lazy. I do the same thing, man. I read a little bit about the genetics, but I don't go that far. It'd be so many hybrids and so mixed up. Now, that's another thing I want to ask y'all too. I've been asking all my cultivators. I'm like, I can't even figure out the origin of certain plants no more because it's so hybrided out. It's so many different ones in one. I'm like, which one environment do I use? That's a good question. How do y'all? I've asked a lot of cultivators this, man, and I've gotten various. Like I said, this is not exact science. These are all up to you. What I want to hear y'all answer about that, man.
Hold on, Gary. I'm multitasking. You said, ask the question one more time.
Oh, yeah. So I was talking about the origin of these genetics, and sometimes I get lazy too, and I try to track back the origin, the country, the environment, this, that. But now there's so many hybrids, you get the seeds of genetics, and it's a hybrid of this and this and this and this and this. And I got to go back and research like 5, 10 different origins of different plants and characteristics. And then I'm like, I don't even know which environment I should use for it because it's mixed with this and this
it's
and these
hard
two.
To tell nowadays. The library has been contaminated.
Right.
It's hard to say. You can't just look on Google and get accurate information either,
Right.
Unless you have some seeds from somebody that has a land race from years ago that's just been sitting, you never really know, to be honest with you.
Yeah, right. And go ahead, Buck.
Nowadays, just grow what you like. Grow. Look for the profile that you're trying to get to. The flavors and things of the genetics that you like, and just grow those. Because a lot of these land races, if you can even find a land race, they take forever to flower. So unless you have a lot of patience,
right,
old school genetics they're not gonna work in your system possibly, and you might not have the patience to go through it, and then you might not like what you think you was looking for.
Right.
Advance to today's profile. So I tell people to cultivate what you feel like suits your palate, because most stuff is pretty much a hybrid nowadays. It's just the effects of a sativa or an indica or a balanced effect, and then match that with whatever profile, like taste wise, that suits your fancy.
Right.
Cultivate for your own taste, instead of keeping up with trying to keep up with the times and the Joneses. It's like constantly changing.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, and that's a great answer there, Buck, as well, man. And with the land race seeds and that kind of thing, we all talk about that. Me and my boys, we got a bunch of old seeds we want to pop and do that, right? But just like you said, it's going to be a lot longer. It might not be what you were looking for either, because things have advanced. And I was just talking with my son the other night, and I was telling him about the killer I used to have back in the day, and he was like, "Dad, I bet you if you had that same killer right now, it wouldn't even beat as killer as what you're talking about, because things change." And I was like, "You kind of right." You know what I'm saying? It's just like me going back and eating candy that I swear I loved when I was a kid, and I try to eat it as an adult again, and I'll be like, it ain't even all as good as what I thought. So I think it might be true. You know what I'm saying? But you don't see many going down that route, man, and doing some of the land races, like you said, if you can even find them right now, man.
So,
yeah. Yeah, man, they're bigging you guys up, man. Big up to y'all, man. Y'all are making it happen, Yes. Innate Divinity said she sees the workshop where you be doing a. Innate Divinity was talking smack earlier. Now he or she is all the way in. I saw you, Innate. I saw you talking smack, talking about Gary. Just let him talk,
did
please.
too, but
They was trying to
it's all
shut me
good.
down.
You
They
gotta
was trying to
come
shut
to
me
the
down. Like,
workshop.
yeah, just shut up, Gary, and let them talk. I said, okay. And so y'all ain't giving much
Nah,
info. Then they took it back. I said, no, that's all good. Y'all family, y'all real Cannon family. I like my hardcore cultivators who come on and talk smack. That's right. We're going to make sure you like it by the time. You're going to stay here and become part of the family. Innate Divinity, welcome. That's right. Workshop coming on 331. Show up and be there, man. It's going to be dope. All right, but go ahead, Rel. What was you saying?
And we have workshops after that as well. We're doing workshops on Sundays. You know, at this point, it's more about supply and demand. So if somebody's like, hey, they want a workshop, let us know. We doing it.
Yes. I got to get a couple of more good questions out of y'all. I know y'all got to run, but I got to get a couple more out of y'all. Y'all got 5 more minutes for me?
Yeah.
Rel? Buck? All right,
I'm
here we go. All right, y'all. I'm going to pull some more out of them, y'all. I'm going to pull some more good stuff out of them. I know they got to run to do a podcast, but I'm going to pull some more stuff out of them. Bioavailability. Let's talk about bioavailability, right? Because as we all know, you can feed your plant all of this kind of different stuff, and you can have these nitrogen sources and phosphorus sources and calcium sources, but they're not all equivalent because they don't have the same capability of absorption rate. It's just like CBD absorbing into or THC absorbing into your bloodstream. Some ways intake is going to be more effective if you use a tincture versus a topical, right? So plants have this thing, and when it comes to the nutrients, it has to have also what's called bioavailability. How available is it to take that up immediately? And I want y'all to talk about a little bit about how important that is, and when you're using amendments in your plants to make sure that the bioavailability is within range of what you need for cannabis. Let's talk bioavailability.
Right. pH balance in your water is what helps facilitate the nutrient uptake. The potassium levels will help widen the walls of the stems. So think of the stalk of your plant. The inside of it is like a hallway, a highway. That's where the nutrients come up and they go into the branches and the leaves, and it keeps on going and going and going. The potassium will help strengthen those walls to make that uptake a lot smoother. They can, a better uptake or what have you. Bioavailability is, I would relate that to mycelium. So the mycelium highway, that fungus highway that connects they kind of connect to the plant roots to help them uptake the nutrients in the soil. And then the pH balance of said cultivar, like each plant likes a different pH balance. Like cannabis plants like 6.3 to 6.8ish, where some other varieties like peppers or whatever, they might need something more acidic. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
pH balance. The pH balance being off can be detrimental to if the plant can actually uptake the nutrients that are in the soil.
Right. That's also a blocker. If you got your pH wrong, then it's going to stop the plant from getting the nutrients it needs to flourish.
Right. So it's all a balancing act, but more or less, some things cancel out others in living soil. I don't really worry about pH as much as some others, but it all does play very much a big factor. But mycelium is one of the things that help facilitate that bioavailability. It's like root zone. It kind of just like connect everything together.
Right.
The reason why a plant or a tree that's outside can flourish without being watered every day.
Right.
Rain for months and months and months. The tree still standing there strong as hell.
Right.
The root zone is connected to a mycelium highway that is getting food from miles and miles away from another plant that's in a zone that did get some rain that day.
Right. That's deep. I love that, man. I love that. I was watching some show when they had, I forgot what series. I think it was on Netflix where they had it was about the mushrooms and they had that big connection underground. They was all talking about that same thing. Yeah. That was deep.
Yep.
That's another reason we like using beds when the plants are next to each other and they can use each other to get what they need and give what they need, because that specific concept of what one plant might have too much of, maybe it can share it with somebody else.
Oh, that's dope. I never thought about that. Now that's dope. That's dope. That's fly right there. I never thought about that, y'all. Y'all just opened my eyes to a whole nother thing, right? It's borrowing stuff from other plants. So if you got, you got a deficiency plant, something that has a overabundance of whatever you need next to it, right? Or something like that. That's kind of fly, man. This could start a whole nother science, right? Pairing plants together to grow some super bud that's super balanced because it has all the right other vegetation around it. Wow, man, this could get real next level, guys. This is what I'm talking about. Yeah. The science of growing, man. This is next level science. You don't think these farmers are low level farmers, bro. They are next level scientists. It is so much science involved with growing. You really got to know your stuff. So big up to y'all, man, for all of that, man, and making it happen, And Melody says, that's right. Water's why the East Coast got the best pizza. You right, Melody. You damn right. You're damn right. That's the reason why I can't leave New Jersey, man. I can't leave my pizza. Goodness gracious. But anyway, this is good, y'all. This is good. We talk bioavailability. They just dropped some more jewels on me. I'm going to start planting stuff around my plants and experimenting to see what happens with it. You know what I'm saying? Cover crop. That's right. They call cover. I hear that terminology. Cover crop, right? That's what it's supposed to do. That's to help all of the crops around it, to help that one. But that's dope, y'all. You got to even think bigger that they're feeding off of one another. All right, 2 more questions, and I'm going to let y'all go, man. 2 more questions. Now,
bring my guest in. We about to set up for this podcast.
Oh, you are? Okay. One more. Last one. After you use all the soil, I got all the bad soil sitting out there. How do we recycle the soil? What do we do to recycle that soil, man?
You can top dress it, or you can reuse. Like, I repurpose my old soil. So soil that I have used, this maybe depleted for cannabis plants, I put them in my garden. And I tend to love them because there's still a lot of the nutrients that the cannabis plants didn't use in it. So you can use like some, like I said, that same recipe of like 2 tablespoons per gallon of a top dress. If you're going to add some worm castings, obviously, some compost, possibly some more rice hulls, things that like kind of rebuff it, so to speak.
Right.
And then on what you're planting in it, that's going to determine what type of nutrients you're trying to buff, re-amend it with. You use some 4-4-4 that's kind of well-rounded. If you're just trying to get some more nitrogen in it for your tomatoes, and you can use some blood meal.
Gary, are you writing notes?
Yes, I am. I'm writing notes. I'm getting y'all link ready to go right now so they can get in this class right now. They about to get in the class. That's why I'm about to take y'all out, and I'm making sure I found it. The soil building workshops, ladies and gentlemen. Just go to Eventbrite. I know y'all ain't going to remember that long ass URL. Just Google it like I did, man. Rap Road Genetics, Bukweetz, man. Do the soil workshop. Find them on Eventbrite, ladies and gentlemen. You guys are doing them where? Where y'all doing the workshops, y'all?
We got workshops in PG County and DC. Every 2 weeks, they're alternating. We're looking into a spot in Baltimore, but you can follow us on IG at Bukweetz, the way it's spelled, Rap Road _genetics. Rail, yours is Rap Road Rail, correct?
Yep. Rap Road Rail.
Put it in the comments so they can see it.
It's just Bukweetz on Instagram, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
UK.
Yes. IG. That's it right there, ladies and gentlemen. Go to IG, follow on Bukweetz. You saw it all in the emails everywhere else. They spell it the same way. So you can find them easily on IG and find their workshop and get down there, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to be, and the cost savings, one thing before I let y'all go, because this is the thing that really got my attention, ladies and gentlemen. I know how much money we be spending on this damn soil, man. It'd be like $50 a bag for 1 grow, 1.5 grows. I'm damn near, we get out of it at $50 bag. Some of them are $70 that I've purchased, $70 a bag. You know what I mean? So what kind of cost savings are we looking for here, man? And that's like a quart, like, I don't even know how to measure it, like a quart and a half or something for $50. Fill out that 5-gallon pot and we got a little bit more left. That's it, out of every bag. That's it.
You go to a store, you're only gonna get 10 gallons of soil in that bag. It's gonna cost you $40 to $50. And then it's not gonna last you that long. So you come to the workshop, it's $100. You'll get 30 gallons of living soil that you're gonna make right there to take home with you. You'll get some top dress amendments, and you'll have the recipe to make it yourself whenever you want. And we'll also giving a cookout ticket to the Labor Day cookout at the end of the summer. Comes with the workshop as well. So it's very cost efficient, and you leave with a lot.
They're giving you value. Nothing but value, ladies and gentlemen. If you come down, man, and make sure you guys check them out. You're going to learn a bunch. You're going to come back, and you're going to save yourself a bunch of money, man. A bunch of money. I need to get myself down there and save myself a bunch of money because this soil is expensive, man, for real.
It is.
And to make it yourself, like everything else. Like, I prefer to make it myself. We're making our cannabis plants ourselves. We're growing our own cannabis, right? Instead of getting it from somebody else, buying it from somebody else, you're growing it yourself. Guess what? The love that you put into that plant, you're going to feel it when you smoke it. And guess what? When you make your own soil, that's even going even further to a whole nother level. Now you're putting your hands in the ground, getting it in the soil, putting your energy in that bad boy, making sure that it is uptaking everything good that you were thinking about and doing in your lifetime, man. That's what's up, y'all. Big up, big up, big up. Bukweetz.
Thank you.
Road Genetics. Ladies and gentlemen, come on right now. Throw the bees in the chat. Throw the bees in the chat for Bukweetz. Throw the bees in the chat for Bukweetz and Rel. Let's go. BNR. Bukweetz and Rel. They did it big, man. Came, shared a bunch of knowledge with us. Make sure you go check out their workshop, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you go check out the workshop. Make sure you get up in there, man. This one is big. Rel, do you have any other parting words for you all?
No, I just want to thank you guys and definitely reach out. We will definitely continue doing them throughout the summer. The more demanding we are getting from people, then of course the more offers we'll do. I encourage everybody to get into living soil. The weed just tastes better, in my opinion.
That's right. That's right. If you want great tasting bud, get you some live living soil, baby, and make it with your own hands. Do your own amendments, make your own formulations, experiment with it, and get the right combination of everything. Rel, thank y'all so much. Bukweetz, thank y'all so much for taking the time, coming to share the knowledge with the Real Canna family. Thank y'all again, man. Peace out. We're going to see y'all soon. We got to bring y'all back for more because they want more, but big up to y'all, man. Thank you again, Rel. Go do your podcast, and we'll holler back. All right. Peace, peace, peace. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, big up Bukweetz, baby. Big up Bukweetz. Let's go. Check them out, IG, man. Big up to all y'all sticking in here the whole time, man. Riding along with us for the webinar today. Thank y'all so much for staying in here, man. You guys are the ones that really want to learn. Big up to you, Melody. Big up to you, Cloud Creator. Emerson, and Empress is in the building. We got Empress in the building. Big up to you, Empress is in the building. Another superstar celebrity, man. OG in the Canna game. Big up to her, man. Big up to everybody else, y'all. Thank y'all again for sticking in there with us. Real Canna. We're here to just teach the realness every day and make sure that everybody gets the information that you're going to need. We're doing this every single week, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you stay tuned. Every Tuesday, go to Real Canna Webinars. You guys are already on the list, but make sure you sign up every week because every week you're going to get new notifications and new reminders so that you don't miss it. And I'm going to bring a ton of great information, ladies and gentlemen, a ton of more guest speakers. You're going to see who's up next week. And I got some other killer people up next week and some other people that's coming the week after that. It's going to be a ton of great information, ladies and gentlemen. So thank y'all so much, man. Big up to all of y'all for sticking in. Real Canna Entrepreneur, baby. Let's do it. And I didn't even announce Real Canna. Hold on, Real Canna. Yeah, I ain't even got one up there. But anyway, guys, go to realcannabisentrepreneur.com. Get your tickets October 18th, 19th. Tickets are not on sale yet. But 18th, 19th, get on the waiting list so that you get a reminder and you get the cheapest ticket to get in. This year is going to be off the hook. Over 1,000 people, 40 plus speakers. We had to upgrade to the largest hotel ballroom in New Jersey, and we still overflowed the parking lot. So this year is going to be even crazier. So big up to y'all once again, man. Real Canna in the building. How to build your superior soil. Big up to you guys. You guys are really serious that came here about this soil webinar because this is not like a super popular topic, right? So I know that you guys are more serious. That's the reason why that I like the fact that you all are here and you're concerned about building living soil. I know you guys are a lot more serious and understand a little bit more. So guys, peace out. If you want to join the mastermind group, you guys check it out. Apply now. realcannabisentrepreneur.com/mastermind. Real Cannabis Entrepreneur Mastermind. And that is it for today, ladies and gentlemen. We are out of here. Real Canna in the building. Let's go.